Welcome to Midnight Movie Talk, live from Los Angeles. Eric Weber here in the MMT hosting seat as we get ready to go with our top story. It took 7 weeks. On the 8th week, it finally happened. We have a new box office champion here on this Sunday night. It is Knock at the Cabin. But, trouble. What happened to this film? Why did this film not open bigger than $14 million, which is the very low end of projections? Certainly, I expected this to be closer to 20. So we're minus 25% plus on this. Let's just call it what it is, okay? We go straight to THR. There it is, the lowest opening of M. Night Shyamalan's career at 14.2 million, but it is number one. It does finally take down Avatar: Way of Water. But this is lower than Old, which was, if you remember, in 2021, we were still doing the whole COVID thing. You can't go to a theater or you're going to kill people. People are going to die. If you go to a movie, people are going to die. They're going to perish because of your selfish decision to go to a movie theater. Remember that shit? That was great. That was a really fun time, wasn't it? In my lifetime, no more exciting time than when we were told that you can't go to a movie. It's dangerous. And our governor here in California closed all the movie theaters to save lives. Okay. Here we go. Back to Old. Old made more money in the middle of COVID hysteria, or at least closer to it than we are now, where no one gives a shit about it. Males dominated the audience. More than 60% of ticket buyers between the ages of 18 and 24. So it actually did well with younger audiences. Now, this is where we are going to do something every Sunday night, especially when we get something like Knock at the Cabin, where it should be higher and it's not. It's stuck at 14 million for an opening here stateside. We're going to do the MMT autopsy. Sounds grim, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfect because we need to ask the question, what happened to Knock at the Cabin? This is a film that should be closer to 20, should be, without question, higher than Old. It's not. So here is supposition number one. It is a better film than Old. I mean, there's no question. Old's a terrible film. Old, the acting alone, if you want to call it that. And that was my fear going into Knock at the Cabin. Would the acting in Knock in the Cabin resemble Old, resemble The Happening? Or no, it doesn't, largely because of Dave Bautista. You talk about, now listen, if you haven't seen Knock at the Cabin, do me a favor. Go see it for one reason and one reason only. There's more than one, but this is the reason. To watch an actor fully grounded in a role that he really probably shouldn't be fully grounded in. But because of that choice, because of him doing next to nothing on screen, the film opens up and works on so many more levels because of Dave Bautista and how firmly planted he is in the reality of that film without making it out of control, which is typically what actors would do in that situation. So huge kudos to Bautista in that performance. But you look at Old, I mean, that's embarrassing, right? Vicky Kelp's, what's her name? The girl from Phantom Thread, who's in Old. Have we ever seen a performance that goes from one of the best to Razzie level, like we saw with Phantom Thread and Old with her? I mean, it's embarrassing. That film is bad, okay? I mean, it's watchable, but it's not good. Knock at the Cabin's way better. So, if you got burnt by Old, and a lot of people were, including me, you might say, M. Night Shyamalan's lost his touch. I know we've seen this kind of roller coaster action with Split. I think certainly much better than Glass. But, you know, he's just so inconsistent. And now we have a very good, I would argue his best film all the way back to Signs, Knock at the Cabin. But it didn't do the business. So number one in our MMT autopsy of this film, and you guys come in with the comments, I'm going to throw out two big ones here. And the second one is going to be controversial. But listen, what we do here on MMT, the reason I started the channel and what I want to do with it is to put forth things that may be uncomfortable. But they also may be dead on. Number one, people were burned by old. And number two, you guys know I don't have a problem at all with woke, with any of that stuff. Okay? I live in LA. I better be okay with that. So, me not having a problem with it is one thing. Other people who go to movies having a problem with it is another. And we have seen repeatedly over the past several years, films take a financial hit when there are things that are what I think, just red-blooded American in the middle of Ohio, my home state, goes, it's not really aligning with my values. And you know where I'm going with this, and it's fair, and you guys know, again, I'm going to state it so no one gets this wrong. I do not and did not and will not have a problem with this. But there are a number of people who saw the gay couple at the center of Knock at the Cabin and decided to stay on the sidelines. That happened, okay? I don't know what the number is. I don't know how many people that was. But there is a portion of the population that sat that out. So when you do that, and again, we're not saying whether it's right or wrong. What we're trying to do here is to drill down on what happened. Why didn't this get to 20, to 25? Look at Smile. 22 plus goes on to, 200 and something worldwide? It's way up there, okay? Knock at the Cabin, 14, way under that. I know it's R. I know old was PG-13. That's why I threw Smile out there, okay? And Knock at the Cabin is a horror film. It's not tangentially horror. I believe it is a true horror film. So when you have a portion of your movie-going audience that is saying, we're going to sit this out because our values don't align with this, then there's not a problem with doing it. Universal can do that. Disney can do that with Lightyear, whatever movie it is. I'm not the guy who's going to come on here like other YouTube people and go, it's woke. That's why it went to hell. That's why nobody saw it, because it's woke. Like that whole ridiculous thing, that's their only bag in their bag of tricks. Let's just run that one out over and over and over. That's why it failed. Is it one of the reasons? Yes. But we're not going to say that's the only reason. Okay? But there's no excuse for Knock at the Cabin to have not gotten to at least 20 million this weekend. Don't make any excuses. You're wasting your time because there's no spin here. This is a disappointing number. It's the lowest number of M. Night Shyamalan's career, and we're trying to get to the bottom of it. And the other thing that's damning about this number is we have had such really strong signs that this market is gangbusters. We've seen things like Puss in Boots continue to do numbers weekend after weekend after weekend. It's on streaming. Doesn't matter. People still going to movie theaters. Look at A Man Called Otto. Still banking money. 80 for Brady. We'll talk about that in a moment. At 12.5 million. Okay? A movie for octogenarians made 12.5. It almost made the same number as Knock at the Cabin. So what happened? I put forth two key things. Okay? And also, yes, that C Cinema score. But the reality of it is the movie is about the apocalypse. People are going to die. Bad shit's going to happen. You can't change that. You can't make it everything's tied up in a beautiful package and there's the bow, pull it off. This is the ending. We don't want that. I want an ending that's messy, that's dirty. It could have even gone further. I guess the book does. But the ending here is dark enough, okay? Dark enough for me. Could it have been darker? Sure, I'm sure the book is. No one's going to say that it couldn't have been. Any movie that you name other than Terrifier 2 could be darker. Okay. Oh, well, I'm sorry. And The Mist. You guys know when we talked about Knock at the Cabin, when I was last on here on Tuesday night coming out of the theater, so what I liked about Knock at the Cabin is it is similar in tone to The Mist. Now, The Mist, the ending of the film version of The Mist, what Frank did with that film, that is not just going for it. That's going all the way. There's really no other way to go darker than that. I mean, that's what makes the movie, okay? But people had a problem with that. So what? It's a horror film. Horror films always have, not always, but typically have bad endings. Smile, right? Hello. Any movie that you go see that's horror is typically going to be down. That's why the cinema score is low. C for a horror film is actually not the worst. You really are looking at like a D or lower when you start looking at something that really was repugnant to viewers. What other answers do you have? But we're not going to play the game, okay? We're not going to play the game that this wasn't a disappointment. Okay, you can't have that. I'm not giving you that card. That card is off. It's out of the deck. You cannot use it. You have to use one reason that you think Knock at the Cabin is under where it should be at 20 plus million in this market. No question about it. M. Night Shyamalan, the name as a director, all of that means we are over 20 and it didn't happen. So here we go to the comments here. Man, you guys are stacking in the show. Welcome here to Sunday night, the flagship show. Let me lay forth what's coming here this hour, and we have a huge show, okay? Because I love doing the Sunday night show because stuff stacks up. We have so much to talk about. We're going to talk about 80 Brady shortly. I mean, and also quickly. It's not going to be some long thing. We're also going to discuss Paul Mescal. Could he be Superman? I have my thoughts on that. And also tonight, our first ever Shill of the week, the critic who never has a bad thing to say. And I was not really prepared for what I found about this critic. I knew this person was a shill. But after looking at something I just found, I can't wait to do Shill of the Week tonight here on MMT. Let's get into it right now on the Sunday night show. John, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here. Let's start with any comments. We'll open it up in a little bit. I want to stick strictly to Knock at the Cabin right now. Knock at the plot holes. I mean, that's one thing you could have a problem with, Goober, but just go with it. I mean, I know there's plot holes in every movie. If we start doing that with every film, other than things that are like glaringly ridiculous, okay, I didn't have too much of a problem with anything here. I went with it. But yes, of course, it could happen. Just got home from seeing Knock, so the twist is that there is no twist. David, there's not really, except that we know who those four are, right? That's kind of the thing. But the twist is not the typical M. Night Shyamalan, like, oh my God, right? I see dead people. Oh, he was dead. Not that. But there is, we know who the four are, which I think is interesting. I think its message was muddled and frustrating. Rachel, I didn't feel that way about the film, but again, other people do. But I feel like this is a real, super polarizing film, right? You have people like me that are strongly in support of this thing. 8.5 out of 10 for me. I wish it was, there was just some things that just didn't quite work, but it's still way up there for me at 8.5 out of 10. And I think most people that I'm hearing from are calling this one of his better films. I mean, certainly from a tech standpoint, right? The cinematography on this film, the editing on this film, the shots, I don't think I've ever seen Shyamalan do this. So whoever he's working with, I didn't even bother looking at the cinematographer yet after all this time. Whoever that is, keep that guy, right? You see like Matt Reeves, going to work with Greg Fraser. You need to get that guy or girl, whoever that is, and use that person over and over because whoever did that did a hell of a job. I'll check it out in a minute. Let me know in the comments so I don't have to like go Google it. Be sure to smash the like button. Thank you, Chris Gore. Listen, I smashed the volleyball court today. My back is wrecked. I played in a tournament and I literally can barely walk around my joint. I mean, it is bad. Thank you for watching tonight, Chris, by the way. Rush, non-satisfying ending, bad word of mouth. But what did you want out of the ending? Okay. Without giving it away, because it's only opening weekend, I don't want to ruin it. But what did you want other than it going full mist? That's the only thing that I think is darker. Well, I mean, okay, you could go somewhere in between, but if you go full mist, then the cinema score is an F, which is, I mean, who cares at this point, right? Maybe it gets more traction with that. I don't know. Let's just throw that out there. because it's already at a C and 14 million underneath where it should be. So why not just go full on mist, right? Kill the kid. Okay. Right? I mean, anyone who's seen it knows that that is dark as hell. Now, I know there's going to be people on here. It's okay to laugh. Welcome to the channel, by the way. 20 million budget. I get it. And it's not, no one's saying it's going to lose. Okay, there's two different things, right? You're saying that the budget's 20 million. So its opening's no big deal. That's a whole nother topic. What I'm telling you is that this number is under where it should be. That is fact. That is fact. I told you guys cannot use the card and we can't spin out of that. That is what we're going to stay on topic with. But when you talk about budget and making its money back, that's a whole nother thing, right? But it doesn't matter what the budget is. The budget could be Sink-a-marink or Skin-a-marink, whatever the hell that film is. Like, what was that, $40,000? And Skin-a-marink has turned out to be hugely profitable for IFC Midnight. I mean, it did really good numbers in certain locations here in the United States, certainly in LA. I mean, the theater was sold out when I saw Skin-a-marink. So we're not talking about budget. We're talking about expectation and not meeting it. And it didn't meet it this weekend. That's just the reality. The problem with the acting in Old is that Shyamalan didn't hire experienced actors. That's got to be some of it. But I mean, it's not like Dave Bautista is this, thespian that's been doing it for a decade plus. I mean, technically, I guess it kind of almost has been. But you know what I mean. No one thought of him as this great actor. I mean, I think he's certainly one of the best, if not the best professional wrestler turned actor, performance-wise, coming off of this, no question. Like, I can't wait to see what he does next. And again, I can't emphasize enough his choice to ground this thing, to stick it in cement. I was shocked at how he was able to do that, and kudos to him, because Shyamalan, I don't know what the hell he tells actors, because he didn't tell them the right thing in Old. He certainly didn't in The Happening. That film is, oh my God. Like Mark Wahlberg in that, everybody in that. That is one of the worst acted films I think I've ever seen. So Old is a step up from The Happening, like the smallest step you could imagine, a millimeter higher. And then you look at Knock at the Cabin, and every single person is super grounded, super great. The little girl's fantastic. The couple's good. Everybody, the four horsemen are great. Everything is really strong from an acting standpoint. So again, I pose to you, what's the problem? And I want you guys to answer it. Do you guys understand when I tell you there is a segment of the population that does not love, or does not, let's not say don't love, they're not as comfortable with a gay couple as people in LA, New York, or ask Gore. Gore's here. How many times have I dragged Gore to West Hollywood? Okay, West Hollywood is the gay capital of the universe. I love going to West Hollywood. I mean, anytime, in fact, when we do a meetup, we're going to do it in West Hollywood because I love it. I'm not uncomfortable with it, but we're talking about someone in the, I hate it, but we're going to do it, the flyover states. Okay? Those people, there's a portion of the population that's like, I'm not used to this. It's still kind of fresh, new to me. I am traditionally like, guy and girl, right? So that's just one of the things. I'm not saying it's the only thing, but I'm saying it is part of this, just like it was for Lightyear. Anyone who says Lightyear was not damaged by that, by the same kind of quote, and I hate saying it, but I'm doing it, woke. The same thing, it is. It's part of the equation. Do not tell me it's not, because it is, okay? So, you guys, that's what I'm trying to drill down on. And I know that's the thing is interesting that I love to do here, is that we're going to say those things a lot of people don't want to talk about. No one's saying for the 9 millionth time that I'm supporting that. I just told you I'll go to West Hollywood any night of the week. Mickey's is my favorite place in LA. He said, where do you want to go for a night out? Mickey's, West Hollywood. Love it. Unbelievable. C.D. Stein, won't say Knock was a great movie. It's one of M. Night's better. Agreed. I mean, you're going back to, for me, you're going back to Split. You're going to Signs. You're just jumping way back. Glass was not good, okay? Split is better, right? For sure. Do I have that right? Is Glass after Split? Split's the best of those. And then you have to go back to Signs, and of course, Sixth Sense. Even the not The Happening. Happening's freaking horrible. The Village. Those are good films by M. Night Shyamalan. But again, it's just he's a director that's so maddening because you get that unevenness. You don't know what you're going to get. He's erratic. You get something that is at the level of Knock at the Cabin to me, and then you get Old. And then I never got to The Visit, so I can't even talk about The Visit. But I've seen every other film that he's made. So I need to watch The Visit. I'm sure it's still better than Old and better than The Happening, right? We can agree. The Happening is the worst of his films. That's a train wreck from an acting standpoint. It's really horrific. Bautista is monotone and had great presence. That is, I can't wait because I love that you brought this up. When we talk about Paul Mescal, going to be Superman, and that's coming up here in a few minutes. We're gonna move to that in a moment because I think we've done a good job here. But a few more comments. Presence is everything, especially for a role like what Dave Bautista has to do here. He just naturally has. He's enormous, right? Just like The Rock. He's built like a brick shithouse. I remember when I first saw Dave Bautista in the WWF way back when it was still called the WWF, if I'm not mistaken, right? When he came in, that guy's delts and chest, I'm like, now that's a man. Like that dude, I wouldn't mess with him. He's got the, shaved head. He's got the divots in the head and all that. I'm like, Dave Bautista would beat your ass, okay? I would run. I would go the other way if that guy was there. So he already has that. So the fact that he has that presence, right? He's got it. And now he's not going to get out of control with it. You go back even a little Stuber. Stuber's funny. I like Stuber. It's as of recent comedy, Stuber might be one of the best comedies of the past 5 years. But he's very good again. He has found a way to do very little. And I keep telling you guys this. That is my number one note. If I ever get into a director's chair, we're writing a script right now. The script, whoever we get that to, we're like, listen, whatever happens, whoever directs this, make sure everyone is grounded AF. Okay, I mean, I'm talking Bautista, show him Bautista in Knock at the Cabin. Perfect. That's what we want. That's what we want out of that. Are you seeing Magic Mike's Last Dance? We'll talk about that. Maybe. But I have no problem going to see Magic Mike. We'll talk about that coming up on Thursday. But quickly on Magic Mike. Magic Mike 1, unbelievable. Great film. 2, horrifically bad. And then you have this. I would never write this film the way it is. Never. When I saw that, I go, oh my God. We can do that tonight. Channing Tatum, or we save that for Thursday. I've got so many things tonight. Let's save it. Okay, let's go to topic number 2. We can come back to that, but I think we did a very good job on that MMT autopsy. What happened to Knock at the Cabin this weekend? My 2 biggies we laid out. Let's go to 80 for Brady. $12.5 million. Very good number for a film that Paramount throws out there here on the weekend. We had no football. There's really nothing going on. Female, older, right? Skewed that way. We knew it was with who's in the film. And it ended up doing a very solid number. Very good. Picked up business on Saturday and Sunday like you'd expect for those matinees, for the old people. Also, remember this. That number 12.5 is, I bet you that it sold more tickets than, I don't have the number in front of me, the tickets, but 80 for Brady versus Knock at the Cabin ticket-wise, because the old people go in the matinees, so the money's lower, right? The kids like to go later at night, so they're going to get more money on the ticket. 80 for Brady's a bunch of octogenarians going to see the movie. They'll pay that $5.75 or whatever it is somewhere. Here, it's still expensive. That's why I tell you guys, get AMC A-List. If you do not have AMC A-List, you are doing movie going wrong. Even if you don't like going to the movies, get AMC A-List. It is $24. Maybe it went to $25. Who cares? For 3 movies, not a month. A week. That is 12 movies for $25. That is $2 a movie if you go 3 times a week. Go to a movie and walk out. Who gives a crap? Go see a movie. If you like one scene, go watch the scene and go home. If you're close, that's what I am. We got AMC 30 screens down the street. If I just want to run into the mall and hang out in the screening room, which is tiny. I mean, these rooms in the 8 inside the mall are really small. I saw that tiny Deleter, that Korean horror film that I really kind of dug. I mean, it's very much like Smile. But I saw it in there with, I swear there's like 30 seats in there. I mean, it's tiny. But the sound and the visual very good considering it's a tiny little theater. Let's do this. Because 80 for Brady, what are we going to say about that? That's the short and long of it. It did nice, and it's probably going to do well because old people do not all run out to the theater opening weekend, right? They go, I'll see it in a week or 2 or 3. And again, theatrical exclusivity, everything. Man Called Otto and now 80 for Brady. If you do not give audiences an opportunity or the option to watch at home, I know this is going to just brace yourself. I'm about to say, people will actually have no choice but to go to a movie theater. Oh, it's crazy, right? It's insane. If you make people only have one option to see something, they'll do it. So we need those theatrical windows back. We have to have those theatrical windows back or we're in trouble. We need a 45 minimum. Forget 90, I get it. We've moved on. I can live with, but I want 45. I don't want 30, I want 45. We're going to split the difference. That gives us a month and a half in theaters. Look at Top Gun Maverick. It was in theaters for what, 4 or 5 months? Finally, it went to streaming. Look how much money it did. By the way, Avatar Way of Water will not catch Top Gun Maverick. We called that. That one I told you is not going to happen. Domestically, not going to happen. It's going to have at least 75 million more, maybe 50 to 75, okay? That's substantial. And remember, the Avatar tickets were generally more expensive than the Maverick tickets because Maverick, even though it had the upcharge, you didn't have the 3D upcharge. 3D upcharge is quite a bit if you don't have AMC A-List. Did I mention you should probably get AMC A-List? Let's talk about Paul Mescal. I hope I'm saying his name right. Have I been saying it right? It's Mescal. It's Mescal. Take your pick. I've never heard him say it. I'm going to say Mescal, or whatever. I've seen some people throw this around. How about Paul for Superman, right? James Gunn rebooting the DCU. So we need a new Man of Steel. So could Mescal be Man of Steel? I say no. And here's why. It's simple. I pull it up in front of you right now. This is, hold on, let me get it. Give me 1 second. I had it and I lost it. When you look at an actor, we talked about presence, we talked about Bautista, we talked about having just that. When you're there, it's like, this is the man. This is Bautista. This is The Rock, right? When he's Black Adam. Say what you want about the film. When he's in his suit, you're like, we don't need CGI, right? I mean, I don't like when they actually stuff the suit with stuff. One of the problems I have with The Boys is you look at Homelander and it's like, that's like fake foam shoulders. Like, hit the gym. I know, you guys know I can say that. I'm a lot. But for other people, but here's the problem with Paul Mescal. He needs to hit the weights. He's not big enough. He's not nearly big enough. But here's the problem. Forget that. Even if he hits the weights and he gets nuts about it and he's like totally in there and he's doing it and he's just like jacked. The problem with Paul is that he is, and by the way, there's an entire site called celebheights.com. He is 5'11". That is my height. Now, it's not short, but it's also not tall enough. And before you say that, by the way, no one else is going here. This is the thing that you come here. You come here to MMT for this. No one else has done this. No one else can even think of doing this. They can't do it. That's why we do it. And then someone will steal it and say, Paul Mescal's too short. 5'11's not short, but guess what? Christopher Reeve, tall. I think he was 6'3", 6'4", right? Look at, what's his ass for Man of Steel? 6'1", right? When you have that, you need to have a little bit of height. And there is a difference between 5'11 and 6'1", okay? Gore's 5'11-ish, right? He's the same size as me. We're not big, we're not small. Mescal would look just like one of us. The problem is Superman can't look like one of us. You want him to have the presence that is thicker, taller. Just doesn't have to be 6'9", right? He doesn't have to play in the NBA. But he can't be 5'11". He can't be. So that is the problem with Paul playing Superman. He's instantly out because when I'm casting for Superman, I want someone who physically fits the role. If he does not physically fit the role, I cannot have him as Man of Steel. Tell me you feel that. Come into the comments right now. Tell me I'm 100% correct. I know you guys know that I'm right again. Give me a like for that because you need to be 6'1" to play Superman. I hate to break it to Paul. You can do Gladiator 2, but you cannot do Man of Steel. We have to leave you out. And remember when Matt Reeves was casting, Warner Brothers was casting for Batman, they said, we have a very specific age range and size. Robert Pattinson is not short. He's 6'1". Pattinson doesn't look like Superman. He's perfect for Batman. I think he's great. Physically, he's got the size. I told you when I saw him at the A24 Christmas party, like 2-3 Christmases ago now, he walks in with a hat on. I go, dude, that guy's kind of big. Like, he was in the middle of shooting Batman. And I, oh, shit, it's Robert Pattinson. I got a photo with him and one of the Safdie brothers. But he was tall. The first thing you notice about someone is, like, just you size them up physically. Like, okay, yeah, that guy looks good. And that's what Robert Pattinson. So I think that's the problem. By the way, comments coming up. Yes, it is another Mexican. By the way, I want some love, guys. Come on, right now. This is, I think right now, Albriges. This is the number one soccer kit / football jersey / football kit I have. Check this out. I mean, this is perfect. First of all, Gore's going to chime in right now and say, this kit is perfect for West Hollywood. See? Do you see that? I told you. That's where we're going to go whenever we get to this thing. Okay. No, we're not going to do physique critique. Okay, fine. We will. We'll do a physique critique for Dave Bautista. And then we'll save Channing Tatum for Thursday nights. Steve Hockey. No, they have to be in shape. We'll save Channing Tatum, talk about a guy who goes up and down. He looks good. He looks bad. He looks good. If I'm an actor, man, I'm coming in looking mint. Right? I'm looking like ripped. Okay. You guys know I bust my ass in the gym. If I'm an actor, you kidding me? Gore will attest to this. I eat like raw tuna. That's when I go to the Yard House. I'm like, what do you have that is the leanest thing that you have? That's just how I roll. So if I'm an actor, it's going to be like, I can't touch anything that has high calories. Gore. Again, for a guy who claims to like hanging in West Hollywood bars, Eric has a suspicious lack of interest for Magic Mike. No, Magic Mike is very good. Magic Mike 2 XXL, right? Horrible. And then 3 is the last movie I would write. If you ask me Magic Mike, as we look forward to Thursday night, I don't look forward to it because when I saw the trailer, in my mind, I'm like, good, they're making Magic Mike 3. This could be cool. Let's make it gritty. Let's make it grounded. Let's put it back in Tampa. Let's make him in the middle of nowhere, Florida. Like, just one of those random beach towns up north, like Daytona North. Ormond Beach. And he has to get the crew back together because he needs money. Right? I always love the rags to riches. And when I watch this, it's like, yes, he's lost his money. He looks like he's bartending or whatever. And let's fly to Europe for a cabaret. I'm like, who the wrote this? This is the worst Magic Mike incarnation you could imagine. Who wrote this? If Channing wrote it, whoever wrote this idea, I don't know. I got to look. It's the worst possible idea for a Magic Mike 3. So there's a very, very high likelihood Thursday night I'm going to go nuclear on this film because I already hate it from the trailer. What the hell am I watching? Okay, comments, and then we're going to go to our Shill of the Week. You guys will love this. The Shill of the Week is going to be so much fun. I can't wait for this. I can't. I almost want to do it right now. Pass on Paul. Paul Mescalin, is that how you say? For God's sake, I'm gonna look. Listen, no, listen, Brett, I'm not a shill. Who we're gonna talk about a shill in a moment. When I mention AMC, you guys know I love it. I would have 2 A-lists if I could. I don't need it, but I would. That's how much I believe in the product. I would buy 2 of it, and it would still. If they raised the price to $50, I would still subscribe to AMC A-list. So at $25, it's like the biggest no-brainer in the history of no-brainers. What's that commercial, right? Capital One. It is, but I'm not shilling for them because I believe in it. Just like I have on my insane Liga MX expansion team tonight because I believe in these things, not because I do. So I'm telling you guys that I love AMC A-list. So yes, don't call me a shill. Okay, hold on. I always check actor heights, but I wonder if they're accurate. I don't know, Kyle, because usually what happens is they go up. So I would say I'm 6 foot, 5'11", okay? I would say 6 foot. Paul might be 5'10", 5'9", 5'11", right? You push. NBA, remember Charles Barkley? He was 6'4". They listed him at like 6'6", 6'7", didn't they? For a long time. 6'4". That's 3 inches. So that's what happens all the time. It just sounds better. 6'6" versus 6'4". He's 6'6" with shoes on and 6'3.5" without. So Paul probably isn't even 5'11", but Pattinson easily 6'1". He is not short. Pattinson's not short. Also, Leo DiCaprio, not short. Not tall, not short. My size. So 5'11". 5'11 is a good size. You know why? Because you don't want your actor to be too tall for the actresses. A lot of the actresses are little, right? So like Zoe Kravitz, I imagine she's very small. She probably had to get on an apple crate because Pattinson's too tall. So you don't want your actor to be like Vince Vaughn, 6'5". But for Superman, you need to have someone who's at least 6'1", 6'2". I will stand by that. Soup's actor has to be at least, oh God, the fact you said Soups makes me want to end the entire stream right now. By the way, he's not our Shill of the week. Here we go. The Shalik critique. I like it, Chris Gore. Are you guys ready? Let's do it. It's MMT Shill of the week. For those of you who are new to MMT, I rail on shills often. What is a shill? A shill is not someone who tries to push AMC A-list. No, that is something I believe in. A shill is a critic who only says positive things about movies. Never once have they stepped into the hole and said, this film is a flaming hot pile of shit. Never once have they done that. And tonight, we have one who is by far, I think, the number one critic shill in the entire universe. Ladies and gentlemen, drum roll please, as I pull up. And this is, I wasn't expecting to find this. I knew this person was a shill, but this was amazing to me. Ladies and gentlemen, our Shill of the week is Erick Davis from Fandango. Everyone, round of applause. Come on, let's go. Right now, everybody on your feet. On your feet, our Shill of the week has arrived. Erick Davis, the man who, this is unbelievable. This is even better than I imagined. This is Erick Davis. This is Rotten Tomatoes. You have to go back to 2016 to find reviews from him. Now, fine. He works for Fandango now. So right off the bat, what does this tell you? Not a critic. He hasn't written a review since 2016. Now, granted, I have some reviews on here that are really old, but I'm still a critic. Okay, I just don't upload to Rotten Tomatoes. But he, since he's working in the business, writing his stuff for Fandango, he should be a critic. He's not. Forget that. Here we go. Okay, you guys ready? We're going to roll through. Now, remember, the tomato meter's there, and then you see whatever he rated it, fresh or rotten, is going to be on the left. So let's go down. Rogue One. Oh, man, I love the film, so I have no problem with that. Doctor Strange, fine. My entire high school sinking into the sea. I don't know, but it says here, this year's most hilariously unique disaster movie. Shit, he was already doing this stuff back in 2016. Look at Billy Lynn's long halftime walk, whatever the hell that is. 43% on the tomato meter. Guess what? Erick Davis said it was fresh. Let's keep going. Slight. I like Slight. Fine. Suicide Squad. Fresh. Are you noticing anything about this? Do you guys see a pattern? Fresh. 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 Batman versus Superman. Fresh. 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 Help me out. Come on, guys. Say along with me. Inherent Vice. 4.5. Dude, you suck. Erick Davis, you're terrible. 4.5 for Inherent Vice. You make me laugh. You amuse me. Hold on, guys. We're still going. Count the Fresh. Now, some of these films are good. I'm not going to say that. Men, Women, and Children? Fresh. Guardians of the Galaxy, of course, fresh. Boyhood, fresh. No problem. Fresh. Fresh. Hold on, guys. Keep going. Fresh. Keep going, guys. Let's keep going. Fresh. Help me out. Help me out. What are the odds of a critic having every single goddamn review fresh? Every single review is fresh. Dude, not only you Shill of the week, I think that we might have our Shill all-time Hall of Fame inductee. This is somebody who works at Fandango. Thank God I'm not in Critics' Choice anymore. I can just savage people like this. And by the way, Erick Davis, I'm here in LA. Don't feel free to come up and talk, because The point is I'm not saying you're a terrible person. I'm saying you are a shill and you know it. So what is there to argue about? If you could call me that, but guess what? You know that's not true. So what's the deal? You could say I'm not sure about the jersey you're wearing tonight. That's fine. You can do that too. But also, I'm not a shill. So we're going to do this every week, but it's going to be very hard to beat somebody who, out of what was that? Maybe 100 movies? Maybe? Something like that. They were all fresh. Come on, guys. Light up the comments. Tell me this isn't the best. What are the odds? What are the odds of someone having a fresh review on every single review that we just looked at? All of them. The entire page is all fresh. Every single one. And this is before he went to Fandango. This is before he got a job there. You wonder why Fandango hired him? They go, this guy's the most forgiving critic in the history of film critics. And he's not a critic, by the way. He's a shill. This dude rated everything fresh. It's unbelievable. Yeah, everything. He could work for Mentos. Everything is fresh. The fresh maker. Oh my God. I know exactly. That's the thing, Supash. Even before Fandango, this guy was an insane shill. So why do you listen to this dude? What's the value he brings to the table? What percentage of, that's a great question, Kyle. What percentage of critics are shills? It's a very large percent. Do you know why? They are so afraid of losing their access. They are like, I don't want to have Disney get rid of me, so I need to say this movie's great. That's the voice for a shill, by the way. And I also don't want Warner Brothers to get pissed if I say Magic Mike's a shitty film. They're going to kick me off my list, and then my whole life's over. Your life of going to movies 2 days before they open. It's over. Mission Impossible 7. It's over. Like, what? It's over? Dude, it's a preview screening. You can watch it 2 days later. If they take you off a list, like Paramount. Paramount did not send me anything for 80 for Brady. So what? I destroyed Babylon. It's a terrible film. I'd do it again the same way. So if we have to play the game of Shillathon, like our boy Erick Davis, and more to come in the following weeks, I'm not going to play it. I don't have any interest in that. What's the point? What's the point of even doing this? If you're going to come on here and shill out about everything and list every movie that you saw, every single film on this page is fresh. What the hell? I mean, guys, you know that's insane. Sean, thank you. I told you Show of the Week was going to get crazy because I've been waiting for this. And then I found this. Last night I was digging around. I go, okay, let's do Show of the Week on Sunday night. I said, let's go check it out. Let's look and see what Erick Davis's Rotten Tomatoes. And I go, oh, what the fuck am I looking at? This dude liked every movie. Every single. Hold on, let's go to the next page. Maybe he finally. Okay, so this is his first page. So we're going back to 2013 now. I never clicked on the second page. Is there? Oh, there isn't a second page. Okay, so every every film he liked, he gave it a reference. This guy is, oh my God, comedic gold, dude. Please, someone send him this. I would love him to see it because it's like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, how do you even accomplish a feat like that? How do you like every single film? Well, I can tell you how. This is how it works. Let me tell you how the mind works like that. So, if you want to get a job at a place like Fandango, they need to know that you are going to be very forgiving and welcoming as a critic. They are never going to hire me. Variety's never going to hire me. THR's never. Deadline's not, because Pete Hammond's coming up soon. Trust me, Pete Hammond's coming up on the Show of the Week really soon. Because these people will walk into a movie and say, it's the best film I've ever seen, a towering spectacle of filmmaking, the likes of which we haven't seen in the history of cinema. Like, that's the quote. And these people, the shill that keeps on shilling, he won't stop. It is incessant shilling from that man. 100. I mean, my God. But Rusty, a view to a shill. I mean, but no, what? No way. Get out of here. No, they're not. Are they really? What? What just happened? Wait, what? What just happened? Hold on. What just happened? All the reviews are gone? All his reviews are gone. What the hell? You guys, what the fuck just happened? Holy crap. You guys, I'm not, dude, they're gone. All the reviews are gone. What just happened? What, you guys, what just happened? They're gone. Did someone get a screenshot? Please say you got a screenshot. They're gone. This, by the way, I want to state for the record, this is the greatest stream, and we've had some amazing streams. This is the greatest stream. This thing needs to blow up. You guys need to send this to everybody. Okay, I mean everyone that you know. You need to send this to, and just go straight to this part. This is unbelievable. I can't even write. Like, if I was writing a script, I would say this is not believable. This is ridiculous. This can't be happening. I do have a recording. This will be the biggest stream. And by the way, I want to state, I am so happy that I wore this jersey tonight. This is like, of all the ones during the biggest stream in MMT's history, I can't believe what I am seeing. Guys, let me remind you what we just saw. We saw an entire page of reviews going all the way back to 2011 that were all positive. They were all fresh. Every single review was fresh. And in the time that I was doing the stream, they all just got nuked. Guys, I almost feel like this isn't real. Like, I don't believe what is happening here tonight. Victor the Cleaner. Now you see me 3. Now you don't. Dude. What? No, Gore, they're gone. Gore, they're gone. They are gone. The shill of the week has already claimed a victim. We already have a scalp. Oh my God. Oh my God. You guys, what just happened? Come on. Seriously, I need someone to tell me what happens. I need you to tell me, like, what just happened. Because the only explanation for what just happened, by the way, I'm starting to, like, I gotta just take a second. Okay. The only explanation for what just happened is, as we were doing Shill of the Week, and I was absolutely savaging this, someone had to be. Someone at Fandango, or he was watching. Someone had to be, because they all got erased. He just stuff. He just Thanos snapped himself. Shill K. David. Oh, someone check Twitter. I can't. He blocked me on Twitter. I can't see it. But what's here? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Listen, guys. Here's the thing. So again, you guys are out of control. Listen. Here's the thing. Is that it's true, right? So it's not like what we just were talking about wasn't based in fact, okay? Every single review from Erick Davis going back to 2011 was fresh. Every single one. There was at least 75, weren't there? Marcel the Shill. He's up there. There he is. I should change that. I should scratch out the shell and put Shill. I think I might. The Shill with shoes on. You guys, for those of you just tuning in, you can't even. This is better than M. Night Soul. No, I can't move off of this. The Four Horsemen. Listen, no. Okay, okay. Is he watching? Listen, honestly, God, if he wants to come in the comments. But here's the truth: is that how do you defend that? Like, how do you defend every single review, by the way, I mean, I could get into a crazy story. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stop. I'll save it for another night. But how do you have every single review as a critic be positive? Like, what are the chances of that? The chances should be zero. Like, the chances of every review from a critic being positive, being fresh, should be higher or lower. Your chances of winning the Powerball should be higher, right, than a critic that you click on. Every single review is positive. Every single one is fresh, right? Am I right? I mean, it shouldn't happen. You're a critic. So what are you doing, dude? You're not a critic. Just own that. Own that you are a shill, and we can move on. Like Fandango shill. That's what it should say. Fandango shill. They're back? Wait a second. Wait, are they back? What's going on? Did it overload? No, they're back. What is going on? Did he switch? Hold on. They're back. Hold on. Did he switch some to negative? Wait, no, they're still all positive. Hold on. What just happened? That was okay. Whatever happened, let's just again dial it on and put it on this. There's no way that you as a critic can have every single one of your reviews. Let's just pick somebody. Let's just randomly pick. Hold on. Let's just for fun, okay? So let's get rid of Erick. I mean, there's what else are we gonna say? My God, I don't think we can even do Shill of the Week again. It's over. Like he broke the segment. The Shill of the Week is over because we can't. How do we top this? Okay, let's go here and let's just pick somebody. Let's go to 80 for Brady. So 80 for Brady's right here. I gave it a fresh. I mean, I gave it a positive, right? So here's the thing. It's dumb. It's so expected. You turn your brain completely, leave it outside in the car and go in to watch 80 for Brady. But yet it has its charms because of the 4 women, right? It's just nice to see them again on the big screen. Okay, so let's go to the reviews. Okay, right off the bat, let's just use Richard Roper. Richard Roper, obviously, as you guys know, took over did the show with Ebert for years after Gene Siskel passed on. Let's just go through and see what we got. Fresh, rotten, fresh, rotten, fresh, rotten, fresh, rotten. 50-50, what about somewhere in there? Maybe a little higher on him. He's a little more on fresh. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. But at least there's a fair amount of rottens. Okay, let's just pick someone else. Let's randomly grab another critic, someone that we might know who they are. Let's go to, I like Ty Burr. Ty Burr's, when I worked in Boston, I had a chance to do some television with Ty Burr. He came into our morning show and I talked to him. I like very smart man, very good reviewer as well. Worked for the Boston Globe for many years, Entertainment Weekly before that. Rotten, fresh, rotten, fresh, rotten. Okay, so you can see, right? I mean, at least, 2-1, fine, whatever. So that's fine. I mean, you more than likely, I got to be honest, with the review system that Rotten Tomatoes has in place, for me to go to rotten, the film has to be bad. So for me, the cutoff C+. So once we get below C+, C is really you pick. It's either going to be rotten or fresh. Which do you feel there was more good or more bad? But once we get below a C grade, it is rotten all the way. Babylon, The Whale, Fablemans, these are rotten films. I mean, these are bad. So when you're kind of in the middle, I get how there's going to be more positive because, again, for me, my grading scale is about 7 and 7.5. You can flip it either way. But once it hits 8, it's fresh. So fresh should be higher. But you can't have a critic who has every single review fresh. Why the hell? What just happened with that? That was the weirdest thing ever. But it was also amazing. Mulchi, as a critic, I think you can hide reviews from the public. Really interesting. Let's see if they're back. That was just the weirdest thing I've ever seen. No, wait, no, there they are. I don't know what just happened. Listen, guys, it was the same web address, so whatever happened just disappeared. Like, was the conversation like during the segment, like, get rid of it? No, put it back up. It looks worse. Think about it. Here's the conversation. They're like, oh, my bad. He has a couple. Okay, fine. So he has a couple of negatives. Okay, Amesh. But here's the problem, Amesh. Here's the problem: is that I shouldn't have to get to page 2 to get to a rotten review. Like that should never happen ever. And I bet you, if we went through every single critic on everyone except for Erick Davis, every single critic that is there, I would find one rotten review before I had to go to page 2 reviews. Would you agree? Give me a thumbs up for that. So there we go. So right off the bat, doesn't matter if there's another one. What we know is that from 2011 on, it's only been a Shillathon, right? All the way through Fandango now. So when I read a quote from him, I go, why are we listening? Stop using it. It devalues your film. The guy he's a shill. You're not getting anything. Pete Hammond, the same thing. I know. By the way, yeah, I'm so glad. Thank you. Now I can say these things I didn't want to say. But guess what? Uncomfortable truths. It's the reality of it. You guys can come here and say, certainly, on the stream, there's been times I've gone too far here, there, said whatever. Fine. But I own it. Now, if you guys said you are whatever, I'd be okay, fine. I would listen to it. Okay. But for him not to at least acknowledge he's a shill is an embarrassment, right? It's like, you can't do that. You have to own it because you are. Like, you can't hide it. You can't hide from it. That's what we just showed. You can't hide. Well, if you can try, but we're going to say that you are. Because I value film criticism. I value going back to when I was a kid watching Siskel and Ebert. Watching them go back and forth. Knowing that whatever they said about a film, they firmly felt in their soul, in their being, right? Like me. That's what we do. You guys know from watching the channel here for not even a year now, is that when I come on here and say whatever it is about a film, or a box office, what we did earlier with Knock at the Cabin, it is what I believe to be my truth with the film. Now, I do understand it's subjective, but what you need to really look for in any critic is someone that is as objective as possible when they're doing the evaluation. So I've told you guys a million times, I have never, nor will I ever, rate a film higher because the director's a woman, or the director's a man, or the director's a giraffe. Never going to change. The review will still be what's on the screen. So that's the point. You got to have someone who's objective and will get out of the way and let the film do the talking. Not the person who made it, not the studio, not the star, the film, period. And I go back to a film from the past year that I thought got absolutely screwed over. Don't Worry, Darling. Don't Worry, Darling is a much better film than everyone decided to get off and destroy. Because Olivia was under heavy fire then, right? For dating Harry, for dumping Jason. I mean, shitty move, right? I mean, no one's going to argue that. I mean, I don't know what the relationship dynamics were, but the optics are terrible. But it doesn't matter. See, that's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't matter if I agree that Olivia Wilde dumping Jason for Harry Styles was, shitty, okay? Because the movie that I'm watching isn't about that. Doesn't matter. So Erick Davis could make a film and I would watch it and say it's good. Yes, I would. Why wouldn't I? Because the film is the film. Doesn't matter who, but I'm sure it'd be good. It'd have to be a fresh film. You just call it The Fresh Shill. That's it. There's our script we're going to start writing here on MMT. The Fresh Shill. A critic who only likes everything because he wants to be part of the crowd. He wants to get along. He wants everyone to like him. You guys know damn well I don't have that problem. I'm like, I don't give a shit. Don't Worry, Shilling. Unbelievable. Just unreal. Let me see. I'm gonna make sure I didn't get, and then we'll go wide open here. I think we got to everything I wanted to tonight. If there's anything you want to bring up, let's do it. But it is open comment time here on this Sunday night. Next show will be Thursday. I'm not going to the early screening of Magic Mike. I'm going to see it Thursday, and more than likely, I'm going to destroy the film. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to be objective, but the trailer has told me that whoever wrote this absolutely screwed the film over. This is the worst possible idea for a Magic Mike 3. The magic, God, that's not the right, that was bad. The shit, I will keep wanting to say magic. The power of the first film, I don't even know, that's not exactly right. The charm is the fact that it is gritty. That's what I love about Magic Mike, the way it looks. I lived in Florida. I lived in Orlando for 5-ish years. Florida is its own animal. And if you're able to capture the essence of Florida in a film, like Magic Mike does, like Waves does, just recent films that like, oh my God, I'm in Florida. Oh, Zola. Yeah. That is Florida personified. Those films nail it. So Magic Mike's got that Tampa, Clearwater, just gritty shit going on. They're like hanging out, going out to the island there, the little sand barges, they go out and party. That's Florida. And then you see, oh, here's Magic Mike. He's going overseas to do a cabaret for a rich woman. I'm like, this is shit. I can't believe you guys made this. It makes me angry they made this movie because now we're never going to get another Magic Mike. And the shame of it is Magic Mike 2 is horrible. And you have one that's great. Really good film. Okay. For what it is, it's very, very, very good. And then you have these other two films. I don't know if Channing wrote it. Channing Tatum, if you wrote those, you need to stop writing because I know he didn't write one. He had something to do with it. Okay, fine. It was about him. Fine. So, but whatever happened in 2 and 3, one feels like, okay, so Channing Tatum, I believe that's his personal experience, right? If I remember correctly. So one feels like, remember they talk about when you write, you should write what you know. So Channing Tatum clearly knows what it's like to be a stripper in Tampa. That's what, right? So it feels like almost like a documentary in a way, right? It feels very grounded, very, very gritty, very much like Florida. And then you go to 2 and you're like, okay, now the Hollywood star wrote this. This is not at all. So you lost what you know. And that's what 3 looks like. Are these the parties you hang out at? Channing Tatum, because this doesn't look anything like Magic Mike. I want to see the old Channing Tatum, the guy who was, struggling actor. That's more interesting than the shit that I'm going to see on Thursday night. That said, if it's good, I'll say it's fine. It has become what it was lampooning in the first place. Exactly. Yes. And when you look at the first one, if you have never watched it, I'm telling you right now, if you have never watched Magic Mike, do me a favor, watch the film. And that way on Thursday, if you bother to go see The Last Dance or whatever, it's called Last Dance, right? You can say, holy crap, this was good, and now we have this shit, which I know is going to happen. I know it. I'm not going to look for it. I'm not saying I'm just telling you the chances are very low that I'm not going to come in here Thursday night and just absolutely detonate a film because it looks like I want to detonate it. Alex, an example of Armond White. Listen, Norbit is one of the best, but he's good though. I feel like he's at least balanced. That was the weirdest thing ever, like ever. Oh, the only critic who confused the hell out of me was Armond White. Okay, there we go. Never knew whether he was being serious or not. Some mistakes are wild. I don't know. Someone did accuse me of this, and I'm glad that this actually came up. Someone said, well, some of your reviews are contrarian because you want, no, never, ever, never, not even one time have I ever come out of a film and said, I'm going to be the one guy who doesn't like Gravity. The one guy, Ken Murray, will have my back on this. He didn't like it either. We came out of that and said, what the hell? That is the most overrated film because it was just coming out of Toronto and everyone's, oh, Gravity, all the buzz. And we saw it on a Tuesday before it opened. And I go, that movie's not great. Like, who the hell? The fact that it won all those Oscars is an embarrassment to the Academy. That is not a great film, Gravity. I'm sorry. Ad Astra, it is a pummeling. It is a TKO. It's a KO. It's all of the KOs. It's every single possible way that you can knock out a film. Ad Astra destroys Gravity. It is not even a contest. I want to like for that because I know you guys agree. Not even a contest. But yet, here we are. And that's the thing. I've never once come out of a film and said, I'm going to dislike Gravity because everyone else likes it. That's dumb. I can't even imagine thinking like that. I am my own individual island thinker. I will not be part of groupthink ever. I have no interest in it. That's why during COVID, I had all those issues. I'm like, this is so groupthinky. I can't do this hive mind shit. I can't do it. I hate it. It drives me insane. So, no, never once have I ever come out of a film and said, I'm going to be contrarian. I'm going to say I loved it when everyone hated it. I hated it when everyone loved it. Never. And it would never happen. It's never going to happen because that's not who I am. You guys know now that it absolutely, that's how I roll. Let's do, actually, I'm glad you brought this up right here, Amesh, because I do have one more thing I didn't get to. Here it is. This is the London Critic Circle. And I really like this group. You guys are going to know why in a second. Why do I love the London Critics Circle? Because you guys know I came on this stream. We did it over 2 months ago, early December. What film did Sunset Circle name its film of the year? Hit me in the comments. What was it? The same film that I see right here from the London Critics Circle. Sunset Circle started it. London Critics Circle ends it. Tar is the film of the year. There is no contest. It is the number one film of the year. I have still not seen The Quiet Girl. I swear I'm going to see it. I'm going to watch it when it comes out in theaters. It comes out here in like 2 weeks, I believe, and we'll get it in LA. I wanted to go to a screen. I just didn't get to it. They sent me a link, and I'm like, I'd rather watch it on a big screen. I've heard it's very good. Decision to Leave. We talked about, when we look at the Oscars and the snubs that we had, the number one snub of Oscars 2023, the number one thing that got absolutely effed over was Decision to Leave in international. That's not even a question over RRR, over anything. So to see it here, at least tying Quiet Girl, I can't comment on Quiet Girl, but I've heard it's great, so I can't wait. Okay, let's keep going. Documentary of the year, I still have not watched All the Beauty and the Bloodshed. I do want to see it. I'm hearing wonderful things. You guys know I do not love Banshee of Inisherin, but fine. I get it. Some people do. Todd Field Tar. Hello. That was our director of the year for Sunset Circle. Yes. Screenwriter Martin McDonagh. No chance. Banshee's totally overrated. Actress Cate Blanchett Tar. Colin Farrell. If you're going to pick something from Banshees, you pick Colin Farrell. And you also talk about what he did in the Batman and After Yang, which I still have not gotten around to because A24 didn't bother giving it any kind of meaningful theatrical push. Like zero. It was at Alamo Drafthouse downtown. I hate going to Alamo Drafthouse. I'll make that perfectly. I do not like going downtown. It's a pain in the ass in LA. So I do not go down there very often. So I didn't see After Yang, and I wanted to see it on a big screen. Now I'm going to just watch it at home because I have a feeling I like it because I loved Columbus. So I have a feeling I'm going to like it. Carrie Condon, that works for me in supporting. Barry Keoghan, that works for me. I mean, even though I've told you my problems with Barry, my issue with Barry is if I was directing Barry Keoghan, I would say this. Dial it back. Dial it from a 10 to a 9, from a 9 to an 8, an 8 to a 7. Bring it down a little bit. He really lean. You know when he does this, like he's leaning, like, no, I saw her over there. It's just like, dude, just say I saw her over there. Like he's doing too much, right? We didn't get to see the whole Joker, but I feel like it's almost even that. It's like, hey, everybody, I'm here. It's like, Barry, whoop, let's go down 1, maybe even 1.5, 2. It's too much. It's the opposite of what I would tell Dave Bautista, which is to maybe raise it 0.5. But I really love what he did in Knock at the Cabin. I think so. I wouldn't even tell him to do anything. But I'm just saying he's doing so little. Barry Keoghan is doing too much. Not too much where it's bad, like Razzie type stuff, like Michelle Williams and The Fablemans. But it's still too much. I want him dialed back. And you guys know, hit me with a like, because you guys know damn well that's right. If you watch Barry Keoghan, you've seen performances, you know, when he just leans into it, hey, it's like, dude, I know you're weird. I get it. You're the weird guy. You look strange. You're not a good looking dude. That's your role. I totally understand. But just ground it more. Stop being so ticky. Does that make sense? Okay, back to the winners. Florence Pugh, Don't Worry, Darling, for a bunch of stuff. Obviously, Puss in Boots doing the voice, and The Wonder, which I never got around to. Because it's a Netflix film, and I told you guys, I do not support Netflix until they have theatrical. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to support them at all. 0%. Just that's my choice. Florence Pugh, Don't Worry, Darling. You guys know I think that's a very good performance, a very good movie, by the way. I really like Don't Worry, Darling. Bill Nye, For Living, no problem, makes sense. And then Charlotte Wells Aftersun. So when I saw this, thanks for bringing that up. London critics did a very nice job. I mean, Tar is the best film of the year. It's not even close. And they went too far with the Joker makeup. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't look good either. It's hard to tell what it even looks like. Right? When you watch the film, you're just like, But again, Barry, you just got to dial it back. You got to dial it back. All right, let's do 5-minute warning. 5 minute. Get your comments in. Let's do 5, and then we're going to call it a night tonight on this Sunday night. Back on Thursday for Magic Mike. Oh, that could be an epic night on Thursday night. AMC has Tar for $5. If you don't have AMC A list, $5. $5 gets you in the door. Go see Tar. If you've not seen Tar, please, I beseech you, go see Tar. It's here somewhere in my pile of DVDs. Give me a second. I got to find it. Where's my Tar CD? I have all, so you guys know I have all. So these are the CDs. Everything, Everywhere, Bones and All, Women Talking. Here it is. There it is. Go see Tar. Go see this film. This film rocks. This is the number one film of the year. Not just the best performance, the best direction and score. No, not score. My bad. That's Women Talking because I was thinking about what's her name from Joker. Hilder. So yeah, Tar's amazing. Go see it. Thank you for there's you guys. Some of you are just. I almost clicked on a comment. I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do it. I maybe will go, Kevin. Maybe I'll go see Pathan. Gore, if he's still here, and Gore, I know saw it. Maybe I will because I've got to see. I got movies to watch. I mean, I have 3 a week, so I can go do that. I didn't do anything with Sundance. My thoughts on Sundance, very simple. I would rather wait to get the films as they are ready to go. They're in the barrel. They're out, going out, right? They're going to be released that week or so. The problem is with Sundance or any of these festivals, you come out of a film and you are talking about it and no one else has seen it. And I know within our little circle jerker critics, right, there's that. But I prefer to be talking about something that's closer. Now, granted, we did do a really early, that got me in trouble, stream on Babylon. And still, even then, it's like, you guys know I don't do spoilers. Like, I think, a very admirable job of staying away from anything that's going to ruin the film for you. But with Babylon, I was like, I have to do this. I can't even stop. But the point is I'd rather talk about a film when you can watch it like soon. Because if I'm saying you have to go see X and I saw it like 2 months earlier, you guys, by the time it comes out, I'm kind of burnt on it. So I'd rather be fresh on something as you're getting ready to see it, like Knock on the Cabin. Saw it Tuesday, did the stream, it's out Thursday. I can't comment. So the long-winded answer to that is I have not seen 1001. I would love to see that. And also Magazine Dreams. We all know who I think has probably the best body in all of Hollywood. We've done the physique critique. We'll bring it back on Thursday. Physique critique comes back Thursday. Channing Tatum. That'll be actually fun. When we look at him, you look at Jonathan Majors and his transformation. He's always, he never was like out of shape, but what he has done with his body, and I think Magazine Dreams is all about that, is really impressive. That is his chest, everything. We did the physique critique a few, months ago now. God, that man. Okay, there's Gore. Go see Pathan. Okay, great. Is it Pathan? I think I'm saying it right. Would I rather travel to Cannes or Toronto? Toronto, too long a flight. I don't like getting on long flights. I would, of all the festivals, I would actually like to go to Cannes, especially when you look at last year's lineup. I feel Cannes has the films that I like. They're more of that. They're going to be more independent, more on the experimental side. Now, granted, Sundance, but I'm talking, you're going to get some major directors. You look at, Parasite debuted there. Drive, the films that I go back and I think of like my favorite films of a given year, After Sun, debuted at Cannes. So if you ask me which I want to go to, it's Cannes. Do I want to sit on a plane for that long and stop at multiple places? Although there's probably a direct flight from LA to somewhere close, but it's also super expensive. That's the other half you have to look at is like, if someone's footing the bill, like Erick Davis for Fandango, because he's going to give them quotes, then that's different. When I'm paying out of pocket, there's only so many super chats. Fund Erick's trip to Cannes. There is that. We could possibly do that. That would be amazing. Oh my God, that would be funny. Crowdsource my trip to Cannes. You see me standing, I can't even get in. They'd be like, that's Eric Weber. Do not let him into any movies. He will come in and destroy films. You can't let him in. I'd be like, I come all the way to Cannes. I'm sitting outside like on the steps. They're like, do not let this man in anywhere. Nowhere can he come in. That's kind of the rep now. But the thing is, the studios that understand, like Universal, I think is very good at this. They know that I am going to gut a film. Like, what was the last Universal film that I destroyed? Pretty savagely. I got to go back and think about that. Because I generally think Universal does a very good job with their films. I think if you ask me what studio is the most consistent, there's two. Universal, Warner Brothers. Those are the two that I want. In A24, even if I don't like them, I'm still going to be interested in them from an artistic standpoint. But Warner Brothers and Universal, they understand, Universal for sure, that I am going to... Oh, Fabelmans. So I gutted Fabelmans. I said it's terrible. It does not deserve to be in the best picture, best... None of that. It's not even a good film. Screenplay. No. None of it. And they still said, hey, Eric, you liked She Said. Or you just turned around and gave a really glowing review to Knock at the Cabin that had a huge... Like, the tweet interaction on that was really high. So that's the thing, right? You're going to get... That's not why I did it, but my point is you're going to get the good with the bad, the yin with the yang. That's what you get with me. You don't get Erick Davis. You don't get somebody who's going to say everything's great, towering achievement in filmmaking, blah, 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 word salad bullshit. That's not who I am. I never will be. I don't want to do that. I'll stop doing this altogether before that happens. But for people like, Erick Davis, you don't have to worry. He's gonna always get invited to every single premiere because he's gonna come out and he's gonna shill away. He's gonna go full shill. And I do not do that. I'll come out of a premiere, Babylon, and walk down the steps of the theater going, that movie sucked ass. And everyone's like, holy shit, dude, you're at the premiere. You can't. I go, I don't care. I hate that movie, and if I see him in the lobby, Damien, I need to remove myself from the area because I'm going to go up and tell him this is your worst film. What the were you thinking, dude? I can't stop myself. And you know who knows that? Menzel knows that. Gore knows that. Alan Ng knows that. Alan was the one who witnessed it and goes, oh shit, Weber is losing it because it's terrible. So do you think Universal wants to have, or actually Paramount in this case, wants to have me show up at the premiere? No, because they don't know what they're going to get, which is what you should want, by the way. You should want that out of every single person that you value their opinion. Whether you agree with them or not, you should know that they want to just give you what they believe to be their individual experience, their truth with the film. Not what the studio wants you to say, not what, they don't want the quote at the bottom, a big scale epic, all that shit. A heart-wrenching piece of anti-war filmmaking, The Playlist. A big scale epic, by the way, Deadline. I liked All Quiet on the Western Front. It is. I'm not saying I disagree with these quotes, but Deadline, that's got to be Pete Hammond. Pete Hammond is the master of the out-of-control quote. Him and Davis. By the way, I think we already know who are Shill of the Week. By the way, that was fun as hell. That was fun as hell. Brian, go back. If you missed the stream, if you missed some of this, oh, here it is, Brian. Sorry. Here it is. Righteous Bill, Finding a Man. This is the only one. In 15 years, he's only given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it 6? He's only that. What is the batting average on that then? It's a 90. There's a 99.9% chance that Erick Davis will like your film. But remember, all of these films were before he turned into a shill. Like, he was trying to be a critic. He's probably trying to actually do a job, service to people. And then he said, no. I want to get hired by movies.com and Fandango. So the ticket to that is to say everything is great. I guess that's true. It's okay to laugh. I'm not drunk, but I should do a stream drunk some night. Maybe I will. The drunk uncle that calls you out of things, 120%. I'm not going to lie to you. That is absolutely true. Oh, that's right. No, listen, it's cheaper to get me to Cannes than it is to build the MMT Studio Theater here in Burbank. It's going to be cheaper. I don't know how much it costs, like a couple thousand. How much is a flight? I don't know, to France. And then the pass I could hopefully get in. But I told you, they probably will say, isn't that the guy who destroyed Babylon and The Whale? A24 for sure will be like, nope, he cannot. We are absolutely restricting him. He cannot come into the building. Which is shit, because the thing is, if A24 thought about that for 2 seconds, they'd know that I'm a huge fan of X, a huge fan of what's on the wall. Name an A24. Certainly Pearl. You go, okay, is this still up here? Lamb. I love Lamb. Lamb's unbelievable. I'm a huge A24 fan. So that's what it is. I wish I could say it's been 15 years since I've seen a bad film. You would be Erick Davis if that was the case. Brian, he was just a follower back then. Then because he became a full-time shill. Dude doesn't have a real opinion about anything. That's exactly correct, Brian. I think we're gonna end this thing right now. Good Time's back there, by the way, John. Good Time's amazing. It'll always be. Look where it is. It is right there, along with two Tars. Right? You see Tarny. These are the films I love. Okay, not Wonder Woman 84. She's there, the eyes, they're only there to remind me that they sent that as a screener. One of the, if not the worst CBM in the history of films. But I think that, hold on, where is it? Let me get back to you. Where are you, Brian? I think that's 100% right what you just said. He was just a fault. He can't have an opinion. And that's what I leave you here tonight with. If you are a shill like Erick, you cannot, not this Erick, you cannot have an opinion because it will upset the apple cart. I just revealed my age to you guys. I have not said that, I think, ever in my life, but yet here I am with the oldest cliche in the history. You can't do it because the studio is first of all, you work at Fandango, so you can't say something bad about a film. You're trying to sell tickets. So if you're trying to sell tickets to movies, every review, and you look, you're going to see it. You got to see it in a theater, a theatrical experience unlike any other, because that you're literally providing quotes to the studio. You're part of the system. I am not part of the system. I will never be part of the system ever. It'll be over before I do that. I will never play that game ever in a million years. So because of that, I will live on the fringes of life. So be it. I will do it in my badass Alberta jersey tonight. Look at this. Are you kidding me? One more time on the jersey, and then we're getting out of here. I mean, who else would roll out with this on? I mean, who? Nobody. Even Gore's like, that's too much for West Hollywood. That's too much. The worst thing, not having an opinion and really dumb it. Yeah, you gotta go strong. You have to. You guys know that's what I do. And I love you guys for being here. That's what we do here at MMT. Great stream. My God. I think this is the best one. And I mean that because of what happened in the middle of that. That was the strangest thing. I was certainly one of the strangest things. If you missed it, go back when we start Shill of the Week. Watch what happens. Hold on. Let me just check in one more time. Are they there or are they not? Let's find out right now. They're there. Okay, tomorrow you guys have a job. When we come back on Thursday, your job is to keep checking his page. Oh, wait, that's the wrong tab. Here it is. Keep checking the Rotten Tomatoes to see if perhaps one of the reviews switches to rotten from all of the all the fresh. Oh my God. It's like, what was that? 50? At least 50. 50 for 50. That's an impossibility. You should win the Powerball before that. The most famous. Oh, yeah, no. Roger Ebert. 100%. Neither was Gene Siskel. If you ask me who to pick, and we'll leave here, because I think the spirit, I hope, of what Gene Siskel did, it lives inside of me. When I was a kid, I watched that man and I said, I want to be like him. And if you watch him, go watch an old Siskel and Ebert tonight. You'll go, I hopefully you'll see just a shit. Now listen, I'm a little more hardcore and a little more, like even more like I don't give a shit. But what that man had, and Ebert too, was a passion for this, for film. And you will never, ever come out of a film and say what you don't believe about it. Ever. I've never done it. I never will. That's what you get here from MMT. The night is over, guys. I'm back on Thursday for what promises. I'm telling you guys, I bet you $1 million that, and I know I'm being objective. I'm sorry, but I've got to say it. Thursday night could get really ugly because I'm going to go see Magic Mike, The Last Dance. And if it's like the trailer, which how is it not? It could be an epic night here on MMT. For now, live from Los Angeles, Eric Weber says, good night. I will see you on Thursday night. MMT out.